Hello and welcome to News at 10 on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Now, government formation in Jammu and Kashmir is our top focus. PDP and BJP are to meet J&K governor today and stake claim to form government. Also, we'll get you all the updates on investigation into the Brussels attack. Now, a clear connection is emerging between the men who carried out the Brussels bombing and the Paris attacks last year. We'll get you all the updates on that as well. First up, the headlines. PDP and BJP to jointly meet Jammu and Kashmir governor to stake claim to form government. Mehbooba Mufti to be the first woman chief minister of the state. Nirmal Singh to be her deputy. Deadline today over show cause notice by Speaker to rebel Congress MLAs in Uttarakhand under an anti-defection law. Rebels to approach Supreme Court after High Court rejects plea on stay of notice. One soldier killed and one missing after avalanche hits army patrol party in Siachen. This as untimely rain and snowfall lashed Jammu and Kashmir. Major breakthrough in Brussels attack. DNA of the second suicide bomber in the attacks matches that found at site of Paris attacks. Massive manhunt on for bombers. And a double blow to the Islamic State. US confirms outfit's second in command has been killed. This as Syrian army takes control of Palmyra from the terror group. Well, today's biggest story ending the over 2-month-long deadlock. PDP and BJP will today jointly call on Jammu and Kashmir Governor N.N. Vohra. The PDP will stake a claim to form the government in coalition with the BJP, which will hand the governor a formal letter of support. Mehbooba Mufti will be the state's first woman chief minister, while Nirmal Singh will be her deputy. Formal end to political uncertainty in Jammu and Kashmir with the commencement of the process of formation of the PDP-BJP government. The two parties will together call on Jammu and Kashmir Governor N.N. Vohra today and stake claim to form the new government to be headed by Mehbooba Mufti, who will be the first woman chief minister of the state. On Friday, the two allies had cancelled separate meetings with the governor and instead decided to call on him together to stake claim to form the government. The swearing of the new government may take a week.
कुछ चर्चाएं होती हैं, उनको फाइनलाइजेशन करने के बाद गवर्नर साहब के साथ हम लोग चाहते हैं पीडीपी और चूंकि हमारा गठबंधन सरकार है, हम लोग चाहते हैं कि दोनों पार्टियों के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स दो तीन दिन जितने भी जाएंगे हम लोग इकट्ठे अपने.
On Thursday, the PDP had chosen Mehbooba to lead its legislature party, while on Friday, Nirmal Singh was re-elected as the leader of the BJP legislature party. He will again be the deputy chief minister in the new cabinet, a post he had under Mufti Mohammad Saeed. After more than 2 months of stalemate, now the two parties claim that all differences have been ironed out, insisting that the alliance was being worked out on the lines as decided under the leadership of Mufti Mohammad Saeed. However, the opposition parties are demanding explanation over the delay in government formation.
No differences. As I said, Mehbooba ji herself has stated yesterday that she is ready to form the government, and she has reposed her full faith in the central government. Our guiding principle will be the common minimum program agenda of governance, which was agreed upon by the both parties some 1 year ago.
ये 3 महीने की विशुद्ध नौटंकी हुई है भारतीय जनता पार्टी और महबूबा मुफ्ती की पीडीपी में. शुरू में महबूबा मुफ्ती की बहुत सारी डिमांड थी जो बीजेपी नहीं एक्सेप्ट करी थी, फिर बीजेपी की डिमांड थी जो पीडीपी नहीं एक्सेप्ट करी थी, लेकिन पता नहीं क्या कुछ घालमेल समझौता हुआ और फिर दोनों सरकार बनाने पे राजी हो गए. तो ये मुफ्त की 90 दिनों की नौटंकी करने की क्या जरूरत थी?
They owe an explanation to the people of state as to why the government formation was delayed for such a long time. Why did they not form the government immediately after the demise of Mufti Saeed? And secondly, what deal has been struck between the two parties?
Jammu and Kashmir has been under governor's rule since early January after the demise of Mufti Mohammad Saeed. Mehbooba Mufti had refused to succeed her father, demanding that the BJP honour the conditions laid down in the agenda of alliance. The impasse in the government formation in the state was finally resolved earlier this week following Mufti's meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. While political crisis in Jammu and Kashmir is over, the one in Uttarakhand doesn't seem to end. The deadline for the rebel Congress MLAs in Uttarakhand to respond to the notice by the Speaker under the anti-defection law ends today. On Friday, the Uttarakhand High Court had rejected the plea by the rebels seeking a stay on the show cause notice. Now, the Congress faces a floor test on the 28th of March in the state after 9 of its MLAs allegedly joined hands with the BJP in the assembly, claiming that the Harish Rawat government had been reduced to a minority.
The Uttarakhand High Court dismissing the plea by rebel Congress MLAs for a stay on the show cause notice issued to them by the Assembly Speaker. The deadline for the MLAs to give an explanation on why the anti-defection law must not be applied to them ends at 5 p.m. today. The rebel MLAs had approached the High Court to stave off any adverse action against them ahead of state government's trial of strength on 28th of March.
सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के फैसले हैं जिनमें लिखा हुआ है कि अगर स्पीकर कोई भी डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन पिटीशन पे नोटिस देते हैं तो वो निर्णय केवल स्पीकर ले सकते हैं और 226 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की आप सहायता नहीं ले सकते क्योंकि जब तक स्पीकर अपने फैसला नहीं देता तब तक हाई कोर्ट को कोई जुरिस्डिक्शन नहीं है.
The court felt it was premature to intervene in the matter at this stage. Rebel Congress leaders will now approach the Supreme Court with their plea for a stay. The show cause notices were served to rebel Congress MLAs after they allegedly aligned with the BJP in the state assembly and claimed that the Harish Rawat government has been reduced to a minority.
दल बदल की प्रक्रिया को जो बढ़ावा दे रही है और धन बल से, बाहुबल से, शक्ति बल से जिस प्रकार से विधायकों को अपने चंगुल में लेकर के भारतीय जनता पार्टी उत्तराखंड की सरकार को गिराना चाहती है, ये बहुत दुखद बात है.
The Congress has accused Yoga Guru Baba Ramdev of playing a crucial role in the rebellion to benefit the BJP. Ramdev has denied the charges.
कुछ विधायकों को उस तरफ मोटिवेट करने में बाबा रामदेव जी ने भी एक महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है और हमारे विधायकों से संपर्क करके उन्होंने उनको जो है प्रेरित किया कि वो एक जो स्थिर सरकार है अमित शाह जी का और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोगों का साथ दें.
कांग्रेस की बगावत से स्वामी रामदेव का कोई लेना देना नहीं है. आदरणीय सोनिया गांधी जी को, राहुल गांधी जी को अपना घर खुद संभालना चाहिए और जिंदगी में हमने कभी भी कोई पर्दे के पीछे काम नहीं किया. जो भी किया खुलेआम किया, जो कहा बेबाक कहा.
While the BJP claims that the Congress has failed to keep its house in order, the Congress has got support from the left that says that there is a pattern in the BJP's attempt to destabilize elected governments in the state.
कांग्रेस बेईमान है, कांग्रेस भ्रष्टाचारी है और अब तो हद हो गई है कि अपना जो विफलता है उसका ठीकरा कभी भाजपा पर फोड़ते हैं और कभी साधु संतों पर फोड़ते हैं.
There is a pattern, there is a design that BJP is trying to destabilize non-BJP governments, elected governments in different states.
Uttarakhand Governor K.K. Paul is understood to have instructed Speaker Govind Singh Kojwal to follow all constitutional procedures during the vote of confidence. This comes after BJP legislators approached him saying they have no confidence in the Speaker. Meanwhile, the 9 rebel Congress MLAs are at an undisclosed location in Jaipur, while the Congress has shifted all its MLAs to the Jim Corbett National Park. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now let's bring you all elections-related news in our special segment Verdict 2016. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be holding election rallies in poll-bound Assam today. Now, Prime Minister's rally for the day will be held in Tinsukia, Mujoli, Bipuria, Bokahat and Jorhat. The BJP is contesting on 91 seats in the 126-member assembly. The party has given 24 seats to its ally Assam Gan Parishad, while the Bodoland People's Front and 2 small parties will be contesting on the remaining seats. The state, remember, will go to the polls in 2 phases on 4th and 11th of April, and the counting of votes will be done on 19th of May. And on to the other
poll-bound state of Tamil Nadu, the Congress and the DMK met on Friday to work out a seat-sharing formula for the upcoming polls. The talks, however, were inconclusive. Now, Congress's Ghulam Nabi Azad said that the allies are yet to work out the numbers. Here is more.
Senior Congress leaders Ghulam Nabi Azad, Mukul Wasnik and Tamil Nadu Congress Committee President EVKS Elangovan held seat-sharing talks with DMK Chief M. Karunanidhi in Chennai on Friday. After the meeting, which was held at Karunanidhi's Gopalapuram residence, Azad told reporters that the leaders of both parties had discussed poll strategy.
That our basic purpose was to discuss the election strategy and also to find as how many other groups are joining and how many have already joined. This was not the final meeting in which we could decide the number.
According to reports, Congress asked for 63 seats while the DMK was prepared to offer 30 to 40 seats. In the 2011 Assembly election, Congress contested 63 seats in alliance with the DMK and won only 5. Senior DMK leaders MK Stalin, Kannimudi, Durai Murugan and E.V. Velu were present during the talks, which lasted for more than an hour. Stalin said that the seat-sharing talks with the Congress progressed smoothly but refused to reveal details of seats requested by the Congress and offered by the DMK.
காங்கிரஸ் கட்சியின் சார்பில் திரு குலாம் நபி ஆசாத் அவர்கள் தலைவர் கலைஞர் அவர்களை சந்தித்து வர இருக்கக்கூடிய சட்டமன்ற தேர்தலில் கூட்டணியில் எத்தனை இடங்கள் என்பதை பற்றி விவாதிக்கக்கூடிய நிலையில்
The Congress and the DMK had announced their alliance to fight the assembly elections in Tamil Nadu, reviving a partnership 3 years after they parted ways on a bitter note earlier in March. The DMK continues its hunt for smaller regional parties to add vote shares that will give it a fighting chance in what promises to be a multi-cornered contest that at present seems to present AIA-DMK Chief Jayalalitha with an advantage. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
And more election-related stories say in Election Wrap. The Election Commission has given its nod to the Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat radio broadcast on Sunday. It also instructed that the program should adhere to the model code of conduct enforced due to the assembly polls in 5 states. This due to the opposition approaching the Commission to stop the program, saying that the state machinery could be used to influence the voters. DMK on Friday allocated 5 assembly seats to MMK days after it set apart 5 seats to IUML. The two parties have reportedly signed an electoral agreement. However, the identification of seats from where the MMK is to contest will be decided later. MMK Chief M.H. Jawahirullah hailed the DMK-led front, with the number of Muslim-dominated parties now standing at 10. MDMK leader Vaiko on Friday said that DMDK leader Vijay Kant rejected offers including money from the DMK and the BJP in order to join the People's Welfare Front to fight the upcoming assembly elections in Tamil Nadu. Vijay Kant, however, refused to comment on these allegations. The first election meeting of the PWF will be held in Chennai on 20th of April. Former Indian cricketer S. Sreesanth joined the BJP on Friday and is set to contest the upcoming Kerala Assembly elections from Thiruvananthapuram. The party hopes to attract the youth vote across party with the cricketers' entry into its fold. Sreesanth, who has been banned for life by BCCI for his alleged involvement in spot fixing and betting in 2013, said that his name has been cleared by the court and he's not worried about any opposition's attack on him regarding that controversy. On to some other news. Well, one army jawan has been killed and another has been missing after an avalanche hit an army patrol party in Siachin's Turtuk sector post on Friday. The avalanche hit the patrol party at around 8 in the morning at Turtuk area in Siachin, which is also the highest battleground in the world. Lance Havildar Bhavan Tamang was rescued in a critical condition, but he later succumbed to his injuries. Meanwhile, massive efforts are on to search and rescue the missing jawan despite the difficult weather in that area. Remember, this incident comes weeks after a deadly avalanche on the Siachen Glacier close to the line of control that killed 10 army personnel. Well, temperatures in Kashmir dropped drastically after the region received untimely rain and snowfall yesterday. Heavy rains triggered landslides, blocking roads and highways in several areas. While the National Highway, which is the only road connecting Kashmir with the rest of the country, finally opened for one-way traffic, now efforts are on to clear connectivity in the region. The local administration was all set with snow cutters to clear the roads. They, however, said that if more landslides or shooting stones occurred, then vehicle movement would be immediately closed. Now, the Met Department has predicted more rain and snow in the upcoming days due to western disturbance approaching the state.
पहले इतना मार्च में इतना स्नोफॉल नहीं हुआ है, जो भी होता था जनवरी फरवरी में होता था, उस हिसाब से हम प्लानिंग करते हैं, लेकिन फोरकास्ट था पहले से ही, हमने उसको करके उसको देख के हम चले, उस हिसाब से डिप्लॉय मिशनरी की और हमने उस प्रॉब्लम कुछ नहीं आई, उस हिसाब से हम काम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं.
Time to slip into a very short break. We'll be back with more news.
Saina Nehwal, the first Indian to win a medal in badminton at the Olympics. The world #2 ranked player is also the first Indian to win the World Junior Badminton Championships and the first Indian to win a Super Series tournament. Saina Nehwal in fact completed a hat-trick Super Series titles in 2010. That same year, she became the first Indian singles player to reach the final of the year-ending Super Series finals, defeating two-time All-England champion and former world #1 Tine Baun in the semis.
Welcome back after the break. Now, David Coleman Headley's cross-examination through video conferencing is on for the fourth day today. During the cross-examination, Headley has revealed that he had already informed the NIA about Ishrat Jahan and her alleged links to the LET. Headley claims that the NIA had twisted his statement later. Earlier on Friday, he revealed that he had developed a hatred towards India and Indians since childhood, so much so that he wanted to cause maximum damage to them. Headley maintained that he had also arranged a fundraising program for Shiv Sena in the United States.
On day 3rd of his cross-examination, Pakistani-American terrorist David Headley told a Mumbai court that he hated India since he was a child, after his school in Pakistan was destroyed in a bomb attack in the 1971 war. He said he wanted to inflict maximum damage on India and Indians because the people who worked at his school had died.
वो अपने स्कूल के ज़माने से ही हिंदुस्तान और हिंदुस्तानियों से नफरत करता है. उसका ये कहना है कि उसके स्कूल के ज़माने में 1971 में उसके स्कूल पर इंडियन एयरक्राफ्ट से कोई बॉम्ब गिराया गया था, जिसमें कैजुअल्टीज हुई थी, डैमेजेस हुए थे.
Headley also denied allegations that he was tutored by Indian investigators to name Ishrat Jahan as a militant.
David Headley categorically denied that the name of Ishrat Jahan was not introduced by him at the instance of the NIA, but he also made it very clear that in the trial against Dr. Rana in USA, he did not disclose this fact because he was not categorically asked by the American prosecuting agency.
In another big revelation, Headley told the court that he had arranged a fundraising program for the Shiv Sena in the US and had disclosed this to the LET. He revealed that he had planned to invite the then party supremo Bal Thackeray to the event.
David Headley ने कोई नया खुलासा नहीं किया है. शिवसेना प्रमुख बाला साहब ठाकरे जी हमेशा पाकिस्तान के टेररिस्ट ग्रुप्स के हिट लिस्ट पे रहे हैं.
उसकी बात को क्यों मान रहे हो? वो जो कह रहा है कि उससे प्राइम मिनिस्टर मिला था, मैं उसकी बात को नहीं यकीन करता. वो कहता है कि पहले उसने कहा कि इशरत जहां के बारे में बोला था, अब वो बदल गया, तो अपराधी गवाह हो गया इस देश का.
They are doing something for a cause. They don't realize that they are an imploding nation and that they are causing the maximum damage to themselves. But these specific questions which I asked deserve to be answered, but I am confident that we'll receive only silence as the answer.
David Coleman Headley, who turned approver in the 2611 attack case, is being cross-examined by the lawyer of Abu Jundal, another alleged key plotter of the 2008 terror attacks. During the course of his cross-examination, Headley told the court that in December 2008, the then Pakistan Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani visited his house when his father died. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
On to the big international story. Well, massive manhunt continues for the Brussels suicide bombers. Meanwhile, in a major breakthrough, now Belgian officials have named the second suicide bomber as Najim Lacharaoui. Curiously, his DNA was found at the site of the last year's Paris attacks.
Fresh evidence shows links between Brussels and Paris attacks. Second suicide bomber in Brussels attacks, Najim Lacharaoui's DNA matches with the one that the Belgian officials found at the Paris attack sites. Until this week, he was known as Soufiane Kyle. Another suspect, Brahim al-Bakroui, is still on the run. The third suspect is yet to be identified. Security forces have arrested 9 suspects so far from Belgium, Germany and France. On Friday, Belgian forces arrested a suspect carrying a suitcase full of explosives. Officials suspect he is linked to the Paris terror plot which the French authorities had foiled early on Thursday.
Nous avons d'ailleurs eu des résultats pour retrouver les terroristes et aussi bien à Bruxelles qu'à Paris, il y a eu un certain nombre d'arrestations qui ont eu lieu et nous savons qu'il y a d'autres réseaux parce que même si celui qui a commis les attentats
The US Secretary of State John Kerry is in Belgium as a mark of solidarity. He met Belgian Prime Minister Charles Michel and offered help against jihadist threats. He also pledged all support to the European Union to fight IS.
And it's also important to look at this issue on the European level. My country, Belgium, is trying to do our best efforts in order to play a positive role, in order to have a stronger Europe in the fight against terrorism, in the fight against radicalism.
The United States stands firmly behind Belgium and with the nations of Europe in the face of this tragedy. And we will continue to provide any assistance necessary in investigating these heinous acts of terrorism and bringing those responsible to justice.
31 people died in twin suicide bomb attacks at Brussels airport and a metro station early on Tuesday. Attacks came just days after the arrest of Paris attack suspect Salah Abdeslam. Tributes and memorial services continue in Brussels Square to mourn bombing victims. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
News from the Middle East and the United States has said that its forces have killed Islamic State group's second-in-commander this week. Washington says that the killing has dealt a severe blow to the terror group's ability to conduct operations in Iraq, Syria and abroad. The US says Abdurrahman Mustafa al-Qadoli served as the Islamic State's finance minister and he had been behind some foreign plots as well. The US, however, did not confirm whether the death was by a drone strike or a bombing raid or whether the attack occurred in Syria or in Iraq. The US Justice Department had offered a bounty of up to $7 million for any information leading to him. Now, the killing is a double setback for the Islamic State as the Syrian army troops have also recaptured the ancient city of Palmyra, backed by allied militia and Russian warplanes. Remember, a year ago, the Islamic State had overrun the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Palmyra.
We are systematically eliminating ISIL's cabinet. Indeed, the U.S. military killed several key ISIL terrorists this week, including, we believe, Haji Iman, who was an ISIL leader, senior leader, serving as a finance minister, and who also is responsible for some external affairs and plots. This is the second senior ISIL leader we've successfully targeted this month, after confirming the death of ISIL's so-called Minister of War a short time ago.
And a look at all other international stories in World Wrap. At least 25 people were killed and nearly 90 were injured in Iraq when a suicide bomber blew himself up in a soccer stadium on Friday. A crowd had gathered for a ceremony to mark a championship for a popular local soccer team. Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the killings. Islamic State has also claimed responsibility for 3 other suicide bomb attacks at security checkpoints in the Yemeni city of Aden on Friday. At least 26 people were killed in that attacks. Significantly, it coincided with the first anniversary of the beginning of a civil war in Yemen. Pakistan and Iran have agreed to enhance economic ties and open 2 more border crossings to increase trade. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani is on a 2-day state visit to Pakistan. He held talks with Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif on Friday. Both the sides signed 6 agreements related to trade and economy, including a 5-year strategic trade cooperation plan. English rock band Rolling Stones has landed in Cuba just a week after Obama's historic visit to the Caribbean island. Tens of thousands of Cuban fans gathered in Havana for a landmark-free concert by the Rolling Stones. For nearly 15 years, Cuba's communist government had banned most Western rock and pop music. Rolling Stones will be the first major Western band to perform in Cuba for decades. On to cricket and news from ICC World T20. Well, West Indies defeated South Africa and Australia beat Pakistan in the 2 matches that were played yesterday. In form, West Indies continued their unbeaten run and they defeated South Africa by 3 wickets in a low-scoring thriller to seal their semi-final spot. Electing to bowl first, West Indies first restricted the Proteas to 122 for 8 and then they chased down the target with 2 balls to spare with 3 wickets in hand. Now, chasing the target, Windies dealt a severe blow in the 5th ball of the innings when Chris Gayle was cleaned up by a in-swinging delivery. Then Marlon Samuels was named man of the match for his 44. West Indies has become the second team after New Zealand to enter the semi-finals. In another match, Pakistan was eliminated from the tournament after their defeat against Australia by 21 runs in the Group 2 fixture. In a high-scoring game in Mohali, Shane Watson, who has already announced his retirement, was in fine form as he and Smith put on 74 runs between them. Smith scored an unbeaten 61, while Shane Watson's quick 44 helped Australia post a total of 193. In reply, Sharjeel Khan gave Pakistan a good start, but then the team could not manage a victory over Aussies and their hopes of staying in the tournament were lost. And what else is making headlines in the world of sports? Let's check out Sports Beat. Indian tennis ace Sania Mirza and her Swiss partner Martina Hingis won their opening round match at the Miami Open. The Indo-Swiss pair moved past the Spanish-Romanian pairing of Lara Arruabarrena and Raluca Olaro 6-0, 6-4. On the other hand, it was curtains for Rohan Bopanna and Flory Mergia as they were ousted from the men's doubles competition. Former world champion Vishwanathan Anand suffered a defeat against Hikaru Nakamura of United States in the 12th round in the candidates chess tournament. Anand now needs a Herculean effort to stage a comeback in the tournament. He will now have to win both his last 2 games to be with a chance to challenge Magnus Carlsen in the World Championship match. Former Honduran President Rafael Calles is expected to plead guilty to U.S. charges for his involvement in briberies and schemes under investigation at FIFA. Calles, who is also the former president of the Honduras Soccer Federation and an ex-member of FIFA's Marketing and Television Committee, is scheduled to enter the plea before a federal magistrate judge in Brooklyn in New York. That's all in this edition of News at 10, but news and updates continue on your channel. Thanks for your time.